Okay guys, so just to give you guys an overview, and this is what we're working with. So let's see what's going to happen. So just finished the workout and I am freaking so intense.
2,000 years later.
Girl, you got me shook from the way your body looks. Got me riding hooks, got me feeling like a rook. I don't do it by the book, but for you I'll take a look. Don't know what your mama took, sweet and spicy like a cook, yeah.
Hello beautiful minds, welcome to my channel. I am Saika and today I'd like to share with you my experience and thoughts about how my first year of weight loss has been. First of all, I'd like to say sorry for being so inconsistent with the posting. I haven't posted in a while because life happened, but I'm back and I've been doing a bit of revamping with my videos as well as the content I'm going to put in, so there's that. Anyway, so it's been a year and a month to be exact since I first lost the weight. So I lost 45 pounds or around 20 kilograms. So I'm at my current healthy weight at 110 pounds or 50 kilograms. And I'd like to share with you guys the 5 things I've learned so far in my journey. Without further ado, let's get into it. Number 1, motivation is just the initiator. In my experience, it's always helpful to have that first push that will really drive you to move and do it. At the start of my weight loss journey, my motivator was actually as a revenge body. So we can talk about that in a whole different video, but yeah. The point is, whatever your motivation would be to start with your weight loss journey or your health journey, because it is majorly emotionally driven, it's very easy to lose sight of it. I remember after 2 weeks of starting my weight loss journey, I wanted to give up, but then I started losing the weight and I was like, okay, you know what, maybe I can do it. So there was that motivation again. So spurts of motivation is good, but it's not enough if you want it to be sustainable and for the long term. Instead, what I did was I tried to train my mind into thinking that exercise and diet was gonna be part of my everyday. Like, I wanted to make it a habit. As someone who loves routine, order, and planning, I really planned and tried out my workouts as well as what I wanted to eat, like the foods, my diets. I noticed that I would have more times doing exercise if I did it in the morning. Like, I'd be more compelled to do it rather than if I do it in the afternoon. The same with my diet. I have certain things I wanted to eat or I preferred rather than other foods, or maybe how they were made. Like, I prefer baking than actual cooking, etc, etc. So I experimented, and once I sort of noticed which patterns I liked more, those were the things I really planned out and made sure I did to the T. Slowly, it became a part of my routine. It became a part of my everyday, and I would do it religiously, not because of some motivation that was lackluster or would go in and out, but because it's really a part of my routine. And I would even get pissed off if I couldn't do it, if I get delayed because something's happening in my life or I need to do this or that. So yeah, I was super committed. Until now, I still am. Like, I really have to have my exercise. It's really part of my everyday. It came pretty easy to me once I found which things I loved or preferred to do. So just do what works for you and make sure to experiment and check which one you would rather do, because it also depends on your preferences. So if you just force yourself to do something because this is what everyone else is doing, but internally you really don't like it, then it's still going to fail. So just experiment and try until you find something you like and stick to that. As what Coach Greg would say, failure to plan is planning to fail. I also liken motivation to a fire. So motivation is just your match and your light, but habit is continuously feeding the fire to keep it burning. Number 2, the everyday is boring. Once the motivation wanes and you already have like your plan out schedules and diets, etc, etc, the everyday gets pretty boring. I mean, not because the workouts are bad or you don't enjoy them. I particularly loved my exercise, my workouts. I enjoyed, planning my meals, but it gets boring in the sense that it's just the same thing every day, and progress is slow. So it's not like today I did this exercise and tomorrow I lost 20 pounds. It's not like that. It's incrementally slow. So what I did to not get super frustrated was to take pictures. So I took pictures of myself to show my progress. From time to time, I would check it out, like to see if there really was change, because visual representation can make me see that, okay, so there is something happening. And it's so small that you don't see it if you just base it on the everyday. But if you compare day 1 to day 14, there's a change. If you compare day 1 after a month, there's a change. So slowly but surely, you'll get there. But it's pretty boring because it's pretty mundane, you know, doing the exercises, the routines. And also another tip is to focus on the everyday rather than where you'll be in 3 months. It's good to have a goal, but don't look at your goal every day. Look at the day ahead of you. For me, I was just really focusing on waking up at 9 a.m. and standing up and changing to my workout clothes and doing the workout. Like, that was the very first thing I did when I woke up. So yeah, every small victory counts. Number 3, it's okay not to be okay in all aspects. That being said, progress is not linear. For my first year of weight loss, I think I really focused more on my exercise. So I did do a bit of meal planning, but I'm still working on that because for the exercise, I think I'm really doing well with my progression. For diet, I'm eating better, but I'm still trying to look for my perfect rhythm. So it's okay if you're not totally simultaneously doing diet and exercise hardcore. If it's better for you to just do exercise first and focus on the exercise and then incorporate the diet slowly, do what works for you. And just to say, I had a lot of setbacks in terms of my exercise. So I started exercising in 2019. I had a trainer back then, and I was very inconsistent. So I didn't lose a lot of weight in 3 months because I was still binge eating a lot. So there was that. I stopped exercising for a while, and then when quarantine happened, that's when I really full force exercised. So you see, there's like a lot of going back and forth, and that's okay. It's fine as long as you're progressing slowly, looking for your way. If you stumble, that's fine. There are days that's going to be bad. I had a lot of bad days in my 1 year. There were times that I really didn't want to do exercise. There was a time that I skipped. In my diet, I tried to do a fad diet and did the egg diet, and I lost like 5 pounds in 1 week, and that's not healthy, you guys. And it really made me sad and depressed. Like, if this is going to be my life forever, I'd rather not have it. Like, I'd rather not eat eggs every single day. And I stopped that because I realized that this is not healthy. If my goal is to be sustainable and for the long term, then this is not it. So I had to do a lot of going back and forth, diet-wise, exercise-wise. I tried a lot of different things before I really found my rhythm and where I'm comfortable in. And also, it took me a long time to be more comfortable in not super restricting myself. There was a period in my first year of weight loss that, especially at the start, that I was so anal on making everything perfect. So I would restrict myself on everything. If I would eat like a bit of chocolate that's super bad, I would feel super sad and I would feel so depressed that
I'm gonna gain all the pounds now.
So it took me a long time to move from that kind of thinking. Maybe I would say in the 6-month mark that I imbibed that idea that, everything in moderation. I could eat a chocolate. It's not a bad food. I don't believe in bad foods. I could eat an ice cream and I'd still be fine. It's fine. And it took me a lot of mental, emotional discernment and sort of introspection to really believe in that and to shift from such a more toxic, very highly restrictive mindset to a more open one that I can do for the long term because I don't restrict myself or I'm not too hard on myself. It's okay to not always be linear, to always progress up. There will be up and downs in your weight loss journey as it is in life. Number 4, health is holistic. So they say that mainly health and exercising is a mental game. And I agree with that, but it's also more than that. In my experience, yes, at the start, it was really a mental game. So it was motivating myself to stand up and do it and, exercise, eat better. So it's all a mental thing. Like, the first 2 weeks were the hardest for me. By the time I was in my 2nd week, I really, really, really wanted to give up. But once I weighed myself in and saw that I lost a couple of pounds, the tiny physical change aided me mentally and emotionally. It boosted me to continue doing it. So really, it was a merging of my emotional, mental, physical, spiritual states. You know, it was everything. It's everything. It's everything. As I continued to improve and analyze myself mentally, I was also able to improve and manage my emotions more. And with that, physical change also started to manifest itself. So I could say that they greatly influence each other and work together to sort of push you into the direction on which you would want to go to. So some people, they prioritize weight loss first, like the physical first. They won't really care about the emotional and mental state. And I did that before. I didn't really lose weight. I would fluctuate up and down because I wasn't taking care of my mental and emotional issues. And I also had like a lot of realizations in college. So yeah, so I really worked with not just my physical but also my mental and emotional to really make sure that I don't go back to where I was, but I just keep progressing no matter how slow. So these three things, or these, you know, everything about you has to work together so that you can truly move forward. Okay, so it's very hard. It takes a lot of introspection, and there will be a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but just it will happen eventually, especially when you are mentally more ready. You know, if there is nothing holding you back, just go for it. And finally, the fifth learning is I've never felt more empowered. If anything, my weight loss has really made me closer to myself. Not that I wasn't confident before, because I was pretty confident even when I was really fat, but taking control of this problem that has been with me ever since I was a kid, and seeing the changes that my control and my discipline and my dedication could do to myself has been very eye-opening and life-changing and empowering. It also made me see the power I can do to myself if I just put the right effort in. I wouldn't say I'm happier, because I still have a lot of issues that weren't really lost when I was fat, and now I was quite happy when I was fat as well, so that really changed. But I would like to say that I gained so much respect for myself because I worked hard to get to where I am now, and to see that manifest in itself, it's just a big pat on the back, bro. In my year of weight loss, I've never been prouder of myself and what I had achieved. This made me realize how blinded I really was to my own wants and to my needs that I refused to listen to, and I taught myself how to mind me again. And in the process of doing so, I feel like I understand more of who I am, what I need or what I want, and where I stand in the world. With that being said, our journeys are all different. Some are slower, some are faster, some are greater, and some are just okay but going there. And I just wanted to share mine to say to everyone who might be watching or who are losing motivation that you'll get there. It is possible. I was obese from the day that I could remember, and you know, for the longest time I've always resigned myself to the fact that I was just gonna be obese forever. But through willpower, enough support, and discipline, I am where I am now, and you too can get there. It will take a lot of time. There will be good days, there will be bad days, there will be frustrated days, and there will be a lot of victorious days as well. Just always remember, slow and steady wins the race. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much guys for watching. Give me a like, subscribe if you can relate to my story, and do share your stories, how your weight loss journeys have been. I want to hear them, and let's start a conversation. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!